Welcome back to season 2 of Shall We Proceed. I have missed all of you so much. I am honored to bring back another season of this show. I'm proud of it. I love it so much. This season opener is going to be impactful and interesting because this show is going to discuss surviving the world as a black man. So before we get going, please share this post, have a watch party, invite some friends, sit back, join in. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. We want to answer your questions. Before we go any further as well, I have 2 amazing guests with me. Returning to the table is Marlon Randolph.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
Remember him from my men's wellness show, healthcare professional extraordinaire. Hopefully he'll give some awesome insight. And first time on this show, an amazing man, Deldrick Parker. Vivid Vybe Podcast, Ames Parker Brand,
of course.
Extraordinaire.
I appreciate that.
Influencer to the stars.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. I was speaking all this into existence.
Thank you.
I want to say thank y'all so much for coming on the show. I know, like you said, it's about time.
It's
about time. I mean, I'm trying to get on your show. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
We do a live audience now.
I sent information. I'm trying to be on.
It's one of them things. It's a live audience.
What's happening?
So I got you.
I'm just saying.
I got you.
Golly. Thank you for coming back on.
Oh, man, I appreciate it.
Mr. Randolph.
That means I ain't cut up too bad.
You didn't cut up too bad. I'm proud of you. You didn't cut up too bad. So make sure y'all share, invite your friends, and if you have any questions, let's get right into it. I when I put up the topic for the show before everything unfolded, it's amazing how it kind of now plays into what the media, society, what we're going through right now. Mm-hmm. And I thought of you two for the show because I know you'll both be passionate on different ends of things, but be real and honest about it. Right. I can't speak on it because I'm a woman, so I can't even tell you how you're going to feel. I can't explain to anyone what it's like. So I had to have men of color that respect to bring up the topic.
That's your respect?
Cool. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you got to get 5 on that. Before we even get started, I do appreciate you for allowing us on the platform to speak up.
Absolutely. So before we get going, let's toast up for season 2, episode 14. Yes.
Hey, cheers,
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, that's so good. Okay.
Put some baby hairs on your chest.
Oh, that's
light work.
Nice. That's nice. So, welcome everyone on Facebook Live. I appreciate you. Please share the post. Any comments, any questions, put them in the thing below.
Yeah.
Surviving this world as a man of color. You two have done it very well so far. And I hate to say so far, but the way this world is, it's so far.
Yeah, it's
right?
Real. It's real. It's tough.
And you coming from New Orleans, I lived in New Orleans. I know New Orleans. And I know your story from last time from where you came from to where you are now is a great story. I don't really know your background, but I know you're a father, entrepreneur,
absolutely,
and you're both young men.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Absolutely, I'm the seasoned person at the table,
and a young grandfather.
And a young grandfather. Congratulations, Paul. I apologize, Pop.
Can't be 35 and Paul.
Yeah, and I said Pop. I apologize.
Right.
No grandpa. That's some weird shit that go down.
So
there's beauty in that though.
It's beauty, but I'm just saying that's weird on my end.
By the time I'm 70, I might be 5 generations deep.
Congratulations, new future.
Hey man, you gotta try to spin it. You gotta try to spin it, man.
As far as I'll tap into the background thing.
Yes, please.
I feel like I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas. You know, that's my city. I love my city. I think where I'm at now, I feel like my life is backwards in a sense. Mm-hmm. Like I was born to be prepared for the things that I'm going through now. Because I handle things at my age, the average person wouldn't even know how to deal with or how to sit down and have a conversation amongst different people or the perspectives that I throw out there. It's different. So sometimes I can't even connect with people my age because my mental isn't there. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like, I don't have no tragic stories or like, adopted or nothing like that. Just raising a single parent home.
That's tragedy in itself.
Yeah, siblings. Cousins, relatives, all that. I don't know. Like I don't have a bad experience per se that I can just be like, man, I seen and did this. I mean, I seen things, but
what's interesting about that is people have to realize in any narrative we talk about or what's going on, we all have a frame of reference.
right.
And so we get angry, we get upset, and you want people to see it from your point of view, but your point of view is not the same
Right.
as your point of view.
Right.
So the anger and the frustration is coming from a different place. And I would love for us all at one point in time to realize, you know what? You can't see what I'm saying because you can't relate to my background. You don't know what I'm going through.
Can we change the wording though? That
Okay,
I was
what's
just
the word?
about to say
anger
that.
and frustration.
Okay.
I believe it's more passion
Okay.
because you're
Okay.
passionate about who you are, what you represent, your life experiences. So in that, you become passionate about the things that you believe in.
But there are some though that still hold a lot of anger.
Oh, most
though.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Most
But I
definitely.
we'll say passion
But I think
for
with that,
everyone here.
to piggyback off of what he said, I think it's just one of these things at this day and age, man. You just gotta kind of learn to respect people's opinion and their perspective.
Right.
With what y'all saying now, it's like, you don't view it the same way I view it.
No.
Like, your day could have been horrible. I'm like, man, I had a great day. And it's like, well, how did you have it? Like, you got to respect that. I think the word that we need to use is respect. And I don't think we have enough of that, regardless of the culture or anything. I think our culture has it worse than others because we don't respect what the other individual is going through. Or it's the biggest problem that I guess I can say is the vent session. I like to talk about that a lot. Is if I call you and I'm venting, our culture doesn't know how to just listen. Don't give me your opinion. Don't give me your view. Just listen. I'm literally just letting out hot air at this point because I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I'm bothered. Whatever the case may be. But then we vent about something to someone, and then now your image changes about that person. It's like, why?
Well,
Because people get very judgmental.
Right.
Well, I another thing I believe is sometimes there's a difference in when you're dealing with your friends and people you vent to, for them to understand when you're venting versus when you're seeking advice.
You know what I've done now though
And
is
I
I
think-
have a disclaimer. I'm like, listen,
I
you're
asked.
calling me. So do you just want to unleash, unload?
You have to do
or
that.
do you want me to respond afterwards? What are you looking
Yeah.
for? Because sometimes they don't even know what they want when
Do you
they
want
start.
me to help you
Right.
figure some shit
So,
out?
yeah, what do you need
Or
me to do?
Am I just listening?
As the
Yeah.
receiver and as the giver, you have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
come
most
out.
definitely.
If you call me and be like, hey, man, I'm just calling to vent, it changes
Everything.
You know what?
everything.
Cool. I'm about
Yeah.
to put you on speaker.
and walk
and
out.
walk around. But what I will not do is
I
have
won't
you
do
vent
that.
to
I
me
won't
about the
do that.
same
Yeah.
shit over and over again every day because now you're draining my energy.
Yes.
And
that, you have to be real
I remember
serious
there
about
was a
that.
meme that went up that I loved it, or is it something someone said that before you do that, ask the person, are you mentally prepared right now to listen to what I have to say? Because sometimes I'm not in a good spot.
But
And I can't even receive what you're trying to tell me.
But
Right.
even in the listening aspect, it's not always about listening, because most people listen to respond.
You got to listen to
yeah,
understand.
yeah, you have to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The purpose of listening is to truly understand that perspective, and then once you understand that perspective, then give a response. So I'm always like, given I have the therapy background, for me, if the situation is not too personal, because in some situations, if it's a altercation with a family member, wife, husband, whatever the case may be, you're liable to be like, that whole rationale just escapes
Out the window.
because it becomes your natural defense in most
Right.
cases. If you don't, sit back, you know what? Let me go ahead and just let me. All right, go ahead.
To answer, well, I guess this is one of your followers, Andrea.
Andre?
She's like, give an example of what prepared you that sets me apart. For example, I'm 33 years old and I choose logic over emotion 90% of the time.
You choose what?
Logic
Logic.
over emotion.
Oh, most definitely.
So
Okay.
what happens is, regardless of how upset I get, I don't respond
Immediately.
off emotion. Like, you have to there's 3 R's that I don't know where it came from. I just started saying it, and I really pushed that issue where it's like,
Hold on, wait.
Go ahead.
Before you say it, is it copywritten?
you got a point. I don't think it is.
Okay, well let's
then
not
I don't wanna
say it. Well, let's say it off air. Let's say
Hey,
it off
if you
air.
watch
Hey.
Vivid Vybe, then you know I've
y'all
said
for,
it.
You for
Hey.
real with
Yeah,
it, huh?
man.
Hey,
look.
nah, I'm not mad at him. That's
Right.
not copyrighted. I won't
because the
say
thing
it.
is, you take one of the most iconic New Orleans phrases, "bling bling."
Mm-hmm.
They didn't copyright it. So the individual that copywrote it, bling is actually in the Webster dictionary, defined by Cash Money Records lyrics of what bling is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always like, hey, is copywritten? All right, let's pause.
Talk about it offline.
If Toy Ames watching, can we get that? Can we get that copywritten? I ain't quoting it no more. It's a couple things we ain't saying no more until we get them copywritten. Then.
You know, I should do the same thing. A lot of things I say, people.
And a quick precursor to that is one thing you can do is while you're working on the copyrights, write it down, mail it to yourself, and do not open the letter.
Oh, we gonna talk out there.
They did this back in the 50s and 60s. That's how black people learned to begin to patent their own things.
You right.
They would mail it to themselves because once you gotta keep in mind when you send something to the post office, it's stamped and sealed with a date.
Tori said she filed the papers tomorrow.
Oh,
okay.
That's
She's like,
I got one of the best managers / business partners anybody could ask for, man.
So it's just one of those things like us as black people always have to be mindful because we're so innovative and we provoke thought.
Because my first show title, I mean, I can say because out there was My Tribe Is My Vibe. And literally a week after I put it out
it's
there.
Everywhere.
Is, what's that preacher, the guy who used to be the Olstein dude?
And
he had a whole sermon. And my friend Felicia was like, isn't that what you said? I'm like, it sure is. I don't know if I created it, but I was like, look at that shit.
Oh, trust me. I think he was watching that episode. I kind of lost my cool because here's the thing. And you can't copyright this. The way Ames Parker works, it's a family. We move. As you can see, Kaja's in the background doing her thing. This is every Thursday. Everywhere I move, my team move. Everywhere my team move, I move. Like, we move together. So there was a couple of podcasts that we've came on, and then like maybe a week later, now you're seeing they moving how you move. And I'm not mad at it. It's just one of those things. I'm the type of guy like, pay homage. If I got the idea from you, I'm be like,
you have to respect that. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, you know what? When I did such and such, and I did it with Chase, for example, like actually you like one of the first podcasts I'm going on because I actually started this tour. We just haven't dropped the dates where I'm hitting like different podcasts.
Oh, you on a tour?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're my first stop.
Oh.
Hey,
we on a tour.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the What's Your Purpose tour.
Shall you proceed?
And it started in October, and you are.
I'm stop number one.
Yeah. I didn't get it's a lot going on right
fancy
now.
out here in these people's streets, man.
We'll get it in.
But you know what, and we'll get to the topic of the show.
Okay, yeah.
But what
I know, right?
the thing that I love about this, there's so much for us. There's room for everyone, and there's no reason to hoard a benefit. Like if like he just gave you the information on that, you're like, you know what? Thank you.
Yeah,
instead of
nobody's
being
never told me that.
mad about it and saying I don't know, or someone takes see how you're working. And like, I like how you're working. I do it all the time. I follow so many podcasts I respect, and I give them shout outs. I do the Friday Love that I've been trying to do because I look at what they do, and I'm like, you know what? That's smart because I'm still a baby in this.
Right.
And I know right now there's enough food out there for everyone to eat in
Most
every
definitely.
industry.
I call it the bread effect, though. If you go down Walmart, just think about it. It's so many different bread companies, right?
Yeah. Right.
But they all selling. There's Miss Birds is selling the same way Wheats is selling or whatever you want to call it. They're all selling the same. They're all selling bread. But they're all making money.
True.
None of them are going bankrupt. They're all making money.
Now, I do disagree with something you said in reference to paying homage. Paying homage don't pay bills. Nah, give me my respect and give me my copyrights. Like you said, like
you off.
Nah, I'm just I just think of it.
I'm not being. I don't take
No,
that.
no, we good.
But what I'm
we
saying
good,
is
fam.
that perspective that you're taking, I'm asking that because then clearly there's something that you've been through that I haven't, so I want to learn from it. Is what I'm getting at.
Most definitely. So my thing is, like I said, we're very innovative people.
Facts.
And we come up with all these different ideas and these different narratives, and then they get this whole wave. It's a culture. But anything you think of is a culture. Because once you say it on social media, if 10 people like it, 50 people go like it.
Yeah.
And then that 50 people is going to turn into it's viral now. But then you have nothing on it to say, look, let me go and get my back pay. Y'all can't use this terminology. Let me go and get my cut.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
He came back and started going to get all his
money,
checks because
yeah.
it was like, oh, y'all
Exactly.
ain't putting me on the album. Y'all ain't giving me credit. For
Yeah.
real?
Yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
was-
I think out of respect, though, you need to at least acknowledge.
Yeah.
Give me both.
That way,
Let's not settle for
and that's
one.
like that reaching back
Well,
thing. When I make it somewhere, I want to reach back.
Yeah,
People ask me all the
that- and I'm the same
time,
way.
like as if I'm an expert at this, and I'm like, hey, this is what you have to do. Just reach back.
But
you
let it be
know?
your choice to reach back.
Exactly.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
I think, no matter how much hurt we go through, we
Mhm.
can't take it, hold it against everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
No matter what, I'll always support you and what you're doing. However I can, even if he shouts me out or not, I'm still going to respect it, because even if he doesn't, someone sees that
Right.
I am showing the love and the support.
Mad love.
Right. Right.
And so no matter if I don't get it from here, I know it's going to overflow on me in some type of way. So, gentlemen,
the way the
Let's
universe
get into
set
it.
up.
even though we talked about business, which was so important, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
First topic.
We got to bring back Black Wall Street, by the way.
Hey.
So,
hey.
in this world and in this climate right now, even though your experience may have not been bad or good or whatever it is, we didn't grow up in the time of our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents who saw the differences, you know what I
Right.
mean? So a lot of this for some of us is brand new. They don't understand. And in my opinion, a lot of time our people throw out these terminologies and throw out this negative, oh, all you are is X, Y, and Z. Example, be Kanye making that stupid-ass comment about slavery and being a choice or whatever, because you don't see it any other way. You didn't experience certain things. I want to know, you two as men right now in this society, raising children, boys, daughters, whatever,
Both.
how have
Yeah.
you changed the narrative of parenting? What did you learn, and what have you had to add to that so your children stay safe? And how do you maneuver this world right now as black men in business and in your profession to where you're not taken the wrong way, you're still making your moves, but you have to be cautious. Unfortunately, it's not, you don't have the liberty to just say what you want to say and act how you want to act without it being taken totally out of context. So how are y'all making it right now with everything going on in this world?
I'll let him go first.
You let me.
Yeah.
James Baldwin. To be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage
Yes.
as a black man. So for me, it's controlled chaos. Your everyday life, to some extent or some degree, when you leave out your door, it's some form of controlled chaos. So for me, being a father and now a grandfather, I try to make everything an example, everything a teachable moment. So regardless of what strife or disagreement I may have or not like what my kids are doing, I use that as an example. I use it as a teaching tool. You know, some people know my story from last episode. I grew up without a father. So for me, being a father at 18 and 20 years old and now a grandfather at 35, I don't look at any of those things as failures because they only motivated me to continue to strive for what was meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it from a perspective of always using every avenue as a teachable moment. Whether it's, I don't look at anything as a failure. It's either successful or a lesson.
Yeah.
And if it's a lesson, I got to make sure I don't make that same mistake next time.
Right.
You said as far as parenting, right? I just want to
Overall, I want to
Okay,
know,
overall.
like, I mean, because you're,
Because
you're-
she
you're-
said parenting.
yeah,
and
I did,
was just
because
like,
your fathers, and so, do you have sons? Yeah, so
Yeah. 2 boys and a little girl.
looking at this thing right now and the way things are, it's not whimsical. You know what I mean? It's not fun.
It's
Childhood is getting snatched away.
It has fun moments.
Fun moments, but the reality is, what do you say? You see these things talking about what you have to tell your children, how to act, how to walk, how to talk, because of it's going back to where it used to be before we were even born.
right.
How they had to raise their sons to be older than they were in maturity just to walk through this life. So how do you raise your sons in this?
In this society, you have to take it honestly a day at a time.
Literally.
And
I agree.
as a father, I've always been the type of dude that's kind of like, I'm winging it. And I truly am. The reason why I say that is because I didn't grow with a father. So I don't have an example. And a lot of times us in our culture, we don't have that. And it's nothing against anybody, so don't get offended by what I'm saying. Not that I care, I'm just saying don't get offended. Men don't really have the outlet that we need or deserve, in a sense, because we're so taught to be tough and this and the third. And with my boys, I don't teach toughness. I push them to be emotional. I push them to like, hey, something's bothering you, tell them. Something, you don't like it, say it.
Speak on it, right.
Like, I'm real anal about that because it's like, I grew up with just my mom, so it's like I was able to tap into that emotional side. So I really push that with my kids. It's like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to care. Like, but don't forget, this world don't give a shit about us. And when I mean us, it's
but when
black
you
men,
say that to them, because when you tell them that, how do you feel they're receiving it? And how do you say that to them to where they understand at a young age that, unfortunately, there's people in your classroom who doesn't look like you who ain't going to give a shit about you?
Right. Well, my boys are 11 and 9. Keyshawn and Devontae, and I love them to death. Like, do anything for them.
Hey, man, say your daughter too, man. You
I
can't say the other two that you love them to death.
Nah, I love my third one to death, but
The third one. The third one.
that little mother, she a little sassy, all right?
Hey, man,
you know, I wouldn't wish,
hey, man,
again,
daughters are our gift and curse,
just in
man.
case my daughter's mother is watching. I love her, but she get on my goddamn nerves. I don't like her like that. Nah, that's my babies, man. Like, everybody know, I'm full throttle at this father thing. I ain't trying to miss nothing. I ain't trying to hear nothing. I ain't trying to none of that. Like, I'm telling you, I'd rather be a dad than work. Like, that's how passionate I am about my kids. Like, I will take the opportunity to be a stay-at-home dad to teach them, like, you don't have to go play basketball or be a scientist. You can do what your dad do. You can go out here, be an entrepreneur, get shit on your own.
So that plays into that stereotype. People love to say that with our community, with men of color, you're not there for your children. And that bothers me because...
It bothers me a lot.
Well, I'll say this because
you're changing the narrative. You said you didn't have your dad in your home, so you're changing that narrative. You're changing that narrative.
Right. I mean, because that's the thing. And, quick little cheap plug. Yeah. 2020 is a book coming about that.
About time you finish it.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
man. Hey,
You
man.
got my full support.
Hey, I'll tell y'all the
Make sure
name.
I get the
I
book.
I will
the
tell
show.
y'all the name
After the show.
It's already copywritten,
we
so I'm
promote
good.
that.
Okay.
But I'll tell y'all the name at the end. I don't want...
You
yeah.
can't say nothing.
So it's... When you're a parent and you're a father and then you grow up without one, like he said, you're literally winging it.
Yeah, you don't have no...
Because it's like, wait, I didn't get this example, so when he say this, what? So you're going to naturally react off what you feel and think emotionally to provide that kid with that answer or that response. Like, hey, have you thought about this or have you considered that? And my kids, me being a therapist, like, man, Daddy, I ain't telling you nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know, they'll be
I hate
like,
talking to you now.
You're not about to
my boys are
psychoanalyze
like
me.
that now.
I hate talking
I'm not
to
even
you.
aggressive with them, and I'll be like, hey, what happened today? Nothing.
Well, the thing
I'll
is,
be like, hey, let me talk to your mom. Like,
what we got to be mindful of
this,
is
it's like, what the...
the same space we were in at that age.
Yeah.
It's more peer influence.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like, when I found out my son was having a kid, I'm like, you got the, man, I know you lying. I didn't make all these sacrifices for you to make this mistake. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell y'all the story off air, how we got to that point.
I don't want you to say mistake, though.
No, but in that moment,
that was how you felt
in that moment. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when the baby was born, I was in Puerto Rico on vacation.
Stunned a little bit.
Hey, man, real true story, though. We get back, boom, I immediately hop in the whip, go to New Orleans. Man, I go see the little baby. I'm like, man, what a paper at? I'm looking at his lip and his feet, man. Nah, go on. But the thing was, I was so... Initially, I was just upset and frustrated.
Of course.
Then, it's those 5 stages. Then you go through the disappointment, then acceptance, then excitement, then you're planning.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know? My grandbaby will be 1 at the end of this month. So for me, I'm like, you know what? It's
Congratulations.
actually a blessing, even though it's going to bring about some changes for my son.
Oh yeah.
And he's actually took it in stride. So I give him credit for that, but I like to take some credit because he watched me to some degree and some extent because they watched me go to college. I didn't go to college the traditional route and all that. So they seen the process.
Mine too.
So for him, he's also
And raising him at the same time,
I took
doing all those
exactly.
things.
Like if I have a babysitter, they were at the school with me the
Yeah.
entire time. They'll let
But
them
that's
sit
the
in
narrative
library.
people aren't showing. They're not.
Well,
And even our own people tend to fall into that. Y'all are no good. You're not there. So how do you rise above it? I mean, like with this situation right now in the media, with hey,
You just getting all the love.
Oh.
man.
she
Like,
is,
it's-
man. I
Um,
appreciate
it's
y'all for the
love,
support, man.
man.
Support my girl.
I'm trying to focus.
Go ahead,
So
man.
with everything happening,
Cameraman
let's
in
let's
it.
talk about
Gang.
the case right now. Let's bring it to that.
I got to take my glasses off.
Let's
now.
let's
one?
bring it to that. Let's bring it
The-
to Mr.
Both
John.
him, John.
Yes, and him being just like when I hear his story, I think of the two of you doing what you do, enjoying life, doing things on the straight and narrow, whatever that may be, and someone walks into your home and takes your life. You weren't even doing anything. You know, they try to say anything else on the street. Oh, what happened? Did he provoke it? But you can't say that.
I grew up in New Orleans.
I know.
You come in my crib, you getting that work.
I don't know, man.
You get, hey,
I got a different perspective.
Okay, so
you
what's
come
your,
in my crib.
what's
I'm not
perspective?
saying no. I'm with you on that.
Right.
It's just, ooh, I'm forgetting so much trouble for this statement.
Man, go ahead and make it.
I already have that narrative in my head that I feel like the purpose that I have and the route that I want to go and how far I'm willing to take this shit to change our culture.
Come on, man.
I'm cool with.
Yeah,
dying.
I'll be a
Like
martyr.
I'm already mentally.
But what
settled
I'm
with
saying though is, and that doesn't bother me that you're saying that, but it's interesting that we're at that point. I think a lot of men of color are at that point. Like, I'm okay with it.
that. Because we know it's coming.
It's like
so
you,
now
but it's not like
it's-
it's coming from natural causes.
no,
it's coming
but you have
from
to
an attack
exactly, so you have to
on a
ask yourself,
culture.
as a man, you have to ask yourself this, and this is just me. This goes back to saying like I felt like my life is backwards because things that I was doing as a kid, other kids weren't doing. The mentality, whatever.
Right.
So now, as I'm an adult, I have a platform, I have a company, I have kids, and it's like the tour says, like, what is your purpose?
Yeah.
Like when we get behind this mic,
Yep.
this is a platform. What are you doing with it?
Yep.
Why do you
Right.
do what you do?
Right.
And if you're gonna use it, like, be for real.
Be smart about
worries
You know
it.
what I
me.
mean? And
It
it's
worries
not
me,
even
yeah.
being smart about it. Like I'm behind the mic. I'm gonna say whatever it is I want to say.
But you're smart about it. And when I say be smart about it, meaning whatever it is that you're deciding to say, you've already thought about it, and
Yeah.
it comes with a certain level of passion.
Facts.
So that's what I'm saying when I say be smart about it. Now you have some podcasts, they
wildin'.
just
Yeah, I don't.
it's
yeah.
it's
But I don't-
view based.
And I stress about it. I stress about. That's why I had to take a break. And it was like, you taking a break? He gave me a hard time. I ain't never take no break. I'm like, forget you.
breaks,
I'm
Kevin
taking
Gates.
a
I don't
break.
get tired.
Out. No, hold on.
I'm
You
taking
know,
a break
no,
'cause
you're
I
not
can't.
you're not gonna shoot that out there.
I ain't gonna shoot that out there.
The reason why I said that,
Mhm.
and this is my purpose of hitting these podcasts.
Okay.
Consistency is key. And we get tired and we get
Yes.
stressed out and we get irritated. But for you to be doing it by yourself,
Yeah, that's dope.
that's dope. So
now
when
you
you
say that's 5 weeks later, he told me that.
no,
I'm just
we
joking with
how
you.
many
I'm just
times
joking
we
with
see
you.
each other in passing, and
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
I don't.
passing.
I talk, but I really don't talk.
Yeah,
much.
same
I just-
here. Same here.
I'm gonna say what I say. But for you to have done what you've done, first of all, let's give her a resume real quick.
Oh,
You have
wait.
3 podcasts. Number one,
Tree of them.
you're a black woman that's clearly independent and handling her business. Number 2.
Black girl magic.
You know,
Sprinkles.
and this is one of the things that I literally push. Like I want to see more black women win, but in this same perspective, we have to be able to allow our black women to win and our black women to also still respect a black man. While
And
winning.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think
Yeah. Shout out
and,
to Simone Biles.
Facts.
you know,
Oh,
it,
man, she's
it's
doing her thing.
yeah,
You see her, huh?
moves named after her. So far.
And broke the record, most medals.
And they tried to give her a fine for some stuff. Like, you're not gonna fine her for
You know, I promise you, they gonna pay for it. She not. I promise you, they gonna cover it.
exactly.
Anything she do at this point is golden.
Exactly.
They're not gonna.
Hey, man.
Your sponsor either gonna pay for it.
But she worked for it.
Yeah.
She put in the work.
At that young age, she doing her thing. And I'm going to
Work.
support things like that. It's that time. I think everybody need to understand that our black women are coming. So
Right.
as black men,
We got to catch up.
our black women.
And we got to catch.
but it's okay though.
You say that though,
But it's okay to
it
push a
is.
black woman. Don't feel like you
So,
coming in second.
okay. So
Nah,
let's say
and I don't
this
believe in
though.
that.
Let's
But go
because
ahead.
this show's about the men folk.
Okay.
So I'm going to.
Oh, yeah, my
thank
bad.
you.
My bad.
Thank
my bad.
you.
My bad.
No, no, no,
I
no,
have to
no.
give you your praise.
But no, I
You feel
appreciate
like
it.
I don't.
No. You know, I like to harass you because you beat me at Uno, and I'm real salty about that.
Uno out, bro.
I'm real bit. I'm competitive. But I really want to focus back on that. When it comes to living in this world as a man of color, you have to humble yourself and also stand up tall.
Yes.
Use your platform for purpose, whatever that platform may be. Also acknowledge the strength of women. And we as black women need to acknowledge you and not break you down. And I think there's a battle between us. I don't know what it is,
I know what it is.
but there's a constant
Church.
battle between us that some of us find it okay to call y'all bitch asses. I'm like, that's not cool.
It's not.
And they think it's not belittling or degrading. Well, that's how and they think it's okay to look down upon a man who shows emotion when that's not cool. You want someone emotional available and be there for you, but when he shows it's a problem. That's not cool. But I also cannot fucking stand when black men talk down about us or when
I
they
hate it.
say that
I'm not for it.
this one is better than that one because we're either too aggressive or we're too passionate when we have to be, because from the beginning of time we've been by your side when fighting the war with you. So how the fuck are we too passionate? Oh, I'm sorry.
But as a black man, who do not want a black aggressive woman?
There's plenty
Can
of
I-
them.
can I
There's
get-
plenty
man,
of
let me
them.
get a- hey,
but
hey,
that's the
man.
thing.
Use
It's the weakening.
The wording is the problem here.
Correct.
What's-
Stop saying
Ain't
aggressive.
aggressive.
But
That
that's I'm
word-
just
I'ma tell you,
using the
that
word.
word
I'm
aggressive
using the
will get you
word.
in so much
So what?
shit.
So
That's
what
the
would?
word that's
So
out
what would
there
you
about us,
use
though.
to
Okay.
replace it?
Let's use this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Passionate? What?
woman that wants to see you win, that wants you to make the right decision even when you're emotionally down or you're not mentally yourself.
Right.
She's there to, hey, don't do this, don't do that, don't say that. Hey, this isn't you. It's not aggressive. It's love. That's caring. That's passion. Like
It's
you
perspective as well.
Right,
But that- but it
I don't
come-
like the fact that you're saying an aggressive woman. Like it's
Well,
not
that's I'm
violent
just
if
using.
she's trying to make
I'm
you
using
Okay,
the,
okay.
I'm using
How
the
about
term because
assertive?
I'm using the term.
We can use
And
that.
that's what people are saying on our Facebook Live. I'm using the term because this is the thing. I truly believe that we have a culture of people who do not know what it looks like to interact
at all.
with each other.
Wait,
You have men who only grew up with women only grew up with either women.
Yeah.
And then you
The
have
disconnect.
people teaching you and you're seeing things and they don't know how to interact with each other.
And to take it deeper than that, shout out to PJ the Barber. He just said there are many men who don't respect men.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
So if we can't respect, go on, pull me up too, Playboy.
y'all
Oh, no problem.
y'all just
So you have
it's
you
not
have
my fault. Whatever happens is not my fault.
you have men who don't respect other men. So
sorry.
in that aspect, if we can't support each other, appreciate you.
No
Uh-huh.
problem.
If we can't support one another, it makes it difficult, in my opinion, for the majority of women to get behind us, because we're constantly faced with that narrative of, well, what have you done? Well, what are you doing?
Yeah, I hate that.
And my thing is, you look at a guy, if he's not bringing in a specific amount of money,
Or not providing for enough.
or right, then you're a problem.
You're not enough.
You're not doing something right.
I don't know what
So-
to say about that.
I mean, but it's facts.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
my
true.
thing
It's
is,
true.
if women's in my women's, boy, that's some
You
New
said it.
Orleans.
You said
boy,
it.
That's some New
It's coming out.
What's that skit?
Yeah.
Things that dumb friends say.
Yeah, it's coming.
Women's. We got
Women's.
these women's, but
Feats.
feet and women's. These women's folk.
Yeah.
Like, we really back in the 50s. But I lost my point. What were we talking about? I don't even know where I was going with
Well,
it.
we
with
were-
the
I'll
women.
grab it.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
go ahead, man.
Let's use this narrative.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. What do you do with a woman that knows how to change a tire, change her oil, fix a flat, cut her grass.
Oh.
Now, hold on.
Every week.
What do you do with a man that can wash his clothes, that can cook,
Church.
that can keep a house clean, that can do
A lot.
all these things? But I'm telling you what the problem and the
Mm-hmm.
disconnect is. It's so many of us that lack that when you get a dude, that can do these things himself,
Mm-hmm.
I start asking you, same thing that women been asking us for years.
Why are you
bring to the
here?
table?
Yeah, man.
I mean, as you should.
But then,
As you
so
should.
when you have children, hey, you need to make sure she touch you mentally.
But that's what I'm
It's like,
saying,
fuck
though.
the physical part.
Spiritual connection.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
connection.
Our parents did this to us. I can recall my mother saying to my sister and I,
You don't
listen.
need no man.
You don't need no
Not
man.
that you- no,
Don't
no,
rely
no,
on no
no,
man
no.
for nothing.
It was never that. It was
Come on,
like,
stay
I
saying
need
that.
you to go above and beyond of what I've done. I need you, and she'll tell my brothers, hey, I know women. Don't let them fool you with they can cook and clean for you. She taught them all to do those things. So when it came up, it's like, you can't, what you doing? My mother already taught me. So we were
Exactly.
already armed with
But
the ammunition to be independent.
here's the ceiling. When the government decided to tell black women, I'm not gonna help you if there's a black man in the house.
Come on.
When that happened,
It definitely changed the narrative.
it changed the narrative because now it's like, hey, you're home, but you're not here. Get your shit. You gotta go because they finna come check. Our culture is cool with that shit.
But
If you go to Yale Village in Houston, Texas, or for Yale, it's like that. This real shit. Like,
Never heard
and
of
they
Yale
cool with
Village.
it. I'm
at
cool with
the-
paying rent. I only pay $50 a month, but you know the downfall. If that woman gets a job, her rent changes.
right.
It's a cause and effect, and it's like you don't realize
It's
that.
made to keep you down. It's made to keep
At
them.
the end of the day,
But-
you
but-
cannot survive by
But
yourself.
here's the other thing from the male side of it. At some point, we have to say, you know what? You have to find a significant other who's willing to submit to where you're willing to lead
now
them.
you know.
And
And
you just-
she
you
has
just
to
said
be
something.
open-minded.
You just said
Listen,
something that's gonna
let
cause
Let me
it's gonna
finish.
cause a
But let me finish.
ruckus.
Hey, man, look.
Because that
That's why I said
Fantasia
I don't like that word.
fucked
I'm
it
a
up
whole
for people
hurricane.
that word.
Sacrifice.
Okay, sacrifice.
I
That's
like
cool.
sacrifice.
Don't say submit. You got to find somebody willing to sacrifice this
But let
just
me-
as much
Yes.
as you do.
I agree
but
with that.
But that was the
But
other
don't
side.
say submissive
But that was
is
the
what
other
I'm
side
saying.
to the thing because just as much as she have to submit, you have to submit to some extent
But
as
this
well.
is the thing, though. That
It's
but
a compromise.
this
But
is
we
the-
have to
this
change
is
the
thing,
narrative
though.
to these words,
What
man.
even if you change the word,
The
if you
meaning
have
is still the
never
same.
seen it before,
Right.
It's hard to learn.
you don't even know what the hell it is. And some
Facts.
people think, because I am a man, no matter what the hell I do or say or what I put you through, you have to accept it and roll with it because that's what they saw. And
Okay.
women right now are saying, "Yeah, I'll roll, but what's the game plan for a second? How
There
dare
you
you ask
go.
that question?" You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think the problem is we have people in society across ethnic, whatever you look at.
Shout out
that-
to Kimble. She said submit is not a bad word, and that's a lady.
You
That's
gonna
because
hush.
she's doing.
Because she's out here
I'm
submitting.
not asking you to bend up, like.
But
none
I
of
think
that.
the problem
Yeah,
is
but-
when you've never seen it before, you don't know what it looks like, and when you've seen it, you're looking at it as, am I just letting you do what you want to do? Do I
Right.
have no? Because some people, some men, because there's some men who can't deal with anyone having a voice, will take it as is what I say is law, and that's it.
Oh,
No.
And then people take the word and they take what it really means. Like you said, sacrifice is a give and take.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do that. I saw give and take in my family. My mom and I never saw them argue. I didn't know what it looked like. If
But see
he,
that-
if
but
he was
I see
down,
no
she was
emotion.
up.
right.
Whatever.
but see,
but you know, you have
submission
to-
can also be a matter of perspective. I believe it's a matter of perspective.
It is. Don't get me
Because,
wrong.
I mean,
it's not a bad word.
but like
I'm
you
just
both
saying
said,
the way you
it's-
explained it.
It's one side of it is what have you seen?
It's all about what you've seen in this world.
No, I disagree to an extent.
Okay.
Because at some point you have to unlearn and relearn. As you get older, you
You-
unlearn your bad habits.
you have to be put. You have to put yourself in a situation to unlearn, because if you have
It's a mental
never-
state.
If you have never walked away from your environment to see other things, you will never know anything different.
I didn't walk away. Okay, so
What I mean
didn't
is,
walk
what I-
away.
She's telling the truth.
What I'm saying is this, though. Born and raised in New Orleans, right?
Like a dog.
But where you living at now?
Houston.
You can go back and forth, no problem, right? So
Yeah.
how your mindset was, if you, because I lived in New Orleans, I knew folks in New Orleans who never left New Orleans or never left Baton
And they
Rouge, or
mindset
never
is
left
survival.
Gonzales.
They don't know.
And
But
my
my
thing
mind-
is, but even in anything, like I am from Baytown, Texas. I live in Baytown, it's a town outside of Houston. If you've never walked out of your environment, meaning your parents' home, at least for a little while, see something else,
Right.
all you are going to hold yourself down to is
that
what you've been
that
taught.
small?
So
right.
if you've never
have to
seen a
be
person
cultured.
of color before,
Yeah.
you're keeping yourself down.
I mean,
And
Well-
so you have to be able to, I am a firm believer in, you need to experience life. You need to eat this life up. And even you go back home,
do.
you go back home, but at least you can say, I can tell you right now, at my age, because I ain't giving it, because I ain't budgeting from it. I have lived
She 25
life.
out here. Hit in her DMs, you hear me?
Hey, no,
she's
no.
single as fuck.
I am.
Like a
Single as
Pringle.
fuck, huh? I
Hey,
am.
like a
Jesus.
Pringle ready to mingle.
So
She
what
do
I
date
love,
night.
what I love is my family encourage y'all. Y'all gonna focus.
I
Damn
had
it.
one, but I stopped.
Stop. What
trying
I'm
to Hulu
saying
with
is
you.
though is I think it's really important. I can't stand either one of you. Y'all ain't coming back ever again. Well, I think it's really important for people to experience life. What you're saying is great, but you experience life. You've walked out of an environment. You learned different things.
But
Because
I
if you had
like-
kept yourself in a certain
But
environment,
wait. But
What?
mind you, I've only been in Houston 5
it
years.
doesn't. That's
But
monumental,
wait, let
though.
me finish. Linda, listen, Linda. I had this same mindset in New Orleans. Like the same mentality that I have now, I had in New Orleans. Now I've grown and I've experienced things differently being here in Houston because the way the melting pot is in Houston is
It's amazing.
completely,
Yeah.
it's completely different than New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, New Orleans is true separation.
Yeah.
We segregated like a
Yeah.
mud, still in New Orleans today.
Yep.
But Houston has allowed me to see some things differently,
It's versatile down there.
but
not enough though.
I think my core values that was taught to me by my grandmother still remain the same.
As it
And
should.
that's where I'm
You know
at
what I'm
with
saying?
it. My
And that's
grandma,
it.
like, 2008, she left. Like, that's my.
Shout out to the
But,
grandmas
Oh,
but
that's
you
still
have
here.
that. But at least
Yeah.
with that, you have a foundation.
Yeah.
And you also went beyond that foundation, but you know where to come back to.
Right.
And what I'm saying is a
Right.
lot of people in our culture have not seen certain things. They weren't raised with certain things.
Mhm.
And we're asking them as if, like, in my job, I was telling my boss the other day, a lady had to call me colored. An old 90-something-year-old woman a few years ago came to the library with her little cane and said, a pretty colored girl. I could have went off, but why? Because that
But
woman,
that's her
90-something
era,
years
though.
old, she
That
has
what she's
seen,
accustomed
she has
to.
seen,
Yeah, that's her
and
era.
some people
Yeah.
will go off, and I'm like, why am I going
For
to
what?
get mad at her? She about to die anyway.
I'm out
I'm
with a
sorry.
trip though.
And the thing is, why am I
wouldn't
going to let
have took
her
it
get,
that
when
far.
I know for a fact she has been through so much stuff,
She's seen so many changes over 92
you know, but
years.
what I want to get back to, let's round it back to what this is about, not about relationships and people. I want to know.
But it is.
It is. I want to know, how do you two feel about the verdict and also the gentleman testifying, Joshua Brown, being killed, and what happened in 2018 with him being a upstanding young man, doesn't matter what upstanding or not, and what we've seen in the media with people getting killed, shot in their back, selling CDs, shot.
I'm going to say that.
You wanna go first,
hand on
D?
your neck.
Absolutely.
So how is
Yeah,
it?
because I got a whole rant.
So we've been, being where we are right now and
And we
doing what
being
you have to
honest,
do.
right?
Let's be honest.
Come on,
Only
man.
thing is one, you said I can't say one word.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's about to cuss up a story. I'm just letting you know.
She's about to get super ignorant.
Here's my motherfucking problem.
Uh-huh.
I'm 33. If there's a
80s
certain
babies.
stereotype out there, why match the stereotype? If they're saying you can go back to 1992 when Hillary Clinton, which is why she lost,
Yep.
came out and said
Super predators.
super predators,
Yep.
which is what she called us,
Yep, she did.
Yeah, man.
and her husband backed her up while
Yep.
all our culture was Clinton's the closest thing to
Thanks to a
being black.
oh my! Come
I
on,
can't.
man.
I can't stand
So
the whole. Yeah.
we can start there.
He
But
preaching.
what I'm getting at is this: at what point do we say fuck the culture? What I mean by that is, I don't. No, this is what I'm gonna say. Fuck society. Fuck the government. Fuck anybody that want to go with everything that's going on when it comes to our music. How in the hell do we make rap music and it's owned by 80 to 90% white people? That's our shit.
Yep.
You can go all the way back. At what point do we stop saying, oh, the man is keeping us down? Like, when does it stop?
Yeah.
I'm a black male. I have 2 black males behind me. That's why I said what I said earlier. Hey, you can go out here and do this shit yourself.
Right.
And you'll make way more money than you will. That's why I'm not mad at Antonio Brown. I just don't like the way he did it. But there's a purpose. People need to pay attention to there's a purpose of why he did what he did and how he did it.
Yeah.
He might not have done it in the right
You want to
way.
give a little bit of backstory on Antonio Brown real quick for people who may not know what you're talking about?
You can.
You can. Go ahead.
I'm not giving
You brought his name up.
Okay, let's focus. Let's focus.
I just dropped gems and I keep it
Oh, my
moving.
bad.
It ain't,
I
it
apologize.
ain't my job. It's not my job for you to test how valuable the gem I dropped you. Shit, you better catch it.
Google it. Google it.
Clues that thing.
Okay,
Shit.
what's your thoughts?
All right, so the verdict was bullshit.
Absolutely.
The sentencing was bullshit.
Why do you say that?
The sentencing? Because if
I wanna know why.
Because if I accidentally
What
go
was
in
the
a-
sentence for people that don't know?
Okay, so the sentence was 10 years. Mind you, I'm about to do a whole shout out in subliminal. I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. Second in drives to be exact. I have friends, partners, family members that serve more time for drug charges than she about to serve. My brother's in jail right now.
So again,
You know what I'm
goes
saying?
Back to what I'm saying.
So just let me digress real quick. They changed the law with the drug convictions. You know, a lot of people was being released, right?
Yeah.
They told my brother, well, we view you as a serial criminal and also a violent offender. So we ain't gonna give you the initial release date, but we gonna knock 5 years off your
Because
time.
you can't let 100. You can't let 90% of the culture of
No, you
excuse
can't let
me.
you
My
can't
bad, let me
lie.
correct
You
that.
can't let
You can't
90%
let
of free labor.
all the population in jail out.
No, you can't let 90% of free labor out of jail. That's where they at.
But
with
like,
it.
like
Yeah,
Janae
that
was
too,
saying
but
that you have to
gonna
blame the
release
jury for
1.2
that. For
million,
the
but you're going to
sentencing.
release
No,
1.2
no,
million
judge.
black people.
No, the jury is the one who.
But again, why do you put that responsibility in the jury's hands? Because at the end of the day,
People that don't even
for every
understand
black
the law.
for every
I
black
mean-
individual that's killed anybody. Oh no, I'm gonna take it back. Minnesota police officer Muhammad, whatever his name was,
I know exactly.
killed the
what
white
you're
woman who jumped out and ran up to his car in the middle of the stark night.
Yep.
He got 25. He got 25 flat.
going. Let me.
Now this colonizer
Oh.
went into a black man's house.
Do your thing, bro.
The
I got your
wrong
100%
house.
support over here.
Went into the wrong house and shot this man in his house. Come on, and you say 10 years? 10? She should have, you know what? She would have did 25, but what's worse than that
Okay,
is
but,
give me 30 seconds. Time me.
I'm not gonna stop you.
What's worse than that is the fact that Boatswain John's little brother said that's what his brother would have wanted. You don't know that.
You don't know.
You can't ask him. He dead. Number 2, the judge gave her a hug and a Bible.
And a Bible. Yep.
Number 3, the bailiff rubbing
her hair.
this lady's hair. Let me see one black video where you see somebody rubbing a black person hair who got
Or
convicted of
hugging
murder
them,
or
anything
hugging
like
them.
that.
On top of that, and you blame it on Christianity.
You seen it? Oh, you
See-
raised your hand to speak? I don't know what's happening.
No, raise my hand to speak.
I got 7 seconds.
Got seconds and shit.
You blame it on Christianity, but see, that's why I don't rock with Christianity. I believe in a God, but I don't believe in a Christian God. But I digress. Go ahead. You got it.
So, logic over
So much
emotion.
So much happening right now.
It's a bit of both.
It's not, man. Listen.
Go ahead, speak.
Listen to me.
And let him speak.
Number one, that's not the only case that she's facing. That's number one. Which means the other 2 that's pending, they're gonna add to the 10.
So she has other cases
Yes,
pending.
There's other cases. This is why you have to. You can sit there and hang a person all day, and you can be like, "Well, they doing this to black people." Da, da, da. But what point are we gonna start blaming ourselves?
Indeed.
I'm
agree.
curious. I've yet to hear one black person be like, "This is our fault."
But okay, so
in this case, I don't.
But
It
how
is.
is how
You know
is
why?
it? How is it
At
our
what point
fault?
you gonna stop believing in the justice system? At what point are you gonna
come
start
on,
going to vote?
Oh
Stop
no, I
saying,
can.
like,
I
this
can.
shit
No,
goes
I agree
all
with
the
you on
way
that.
back. When
Yeah.
I say that, understand what
Okay.
I'm getting at.
I agree with
Like,
you on that.
you
But what
sitting
I'm
at
saying
home
though
and
is,
it's like, oh, you're complaining.
I agree
but
with you
put
on
that judge in office.
I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that.
Mhm.
We have to vote. We have to do our research. We have to banter because
It's
what
time.
bothered me with this situation is how we're arguing, and not we, but you know what I mean, are arguing with each other about some foolishness that's not even important, and it takes away the focus on what's really happening. You're mad about how someone wants to forgive and this and that, and you're calling it all these things. That's not fucking important. The
It's not.
importance is how do we take this and say, okay, because the mother was the one saying she's the fucking devil. The mother didn't even agree with what the little boy
Correct.
said. So
Correct.
she was like, Dallas is corrupt. All this shit's corrupt. This is fucked up shit. Whatever. And that's a little boy. He's 16.
He was 16 when it happened.
And
he's
he's
18 now.
16 right now,
Am
I
stating
think.
facts.
So what my
You go ahead and repost that on your
my
page.
my
I'ma get
issue
that.
my issue y'all gonna focus. My issue
get
is
that.
this. We need to, like you said,
We got
we can be mad all we want. We can fuss about. I don't care how you worship and what you care about, and how you what your belief is. The end of the thing is this: how do we protect our people from the foolishness? Like you said, voting, doing your research, putting people in office. All those things are important. Not because you
See,
believe in God or not. That's not even important.
See, I disagree because
I don't think it's important because we're arguing with each other behind bullshit while there's still shit happening. So you're stacking it on this thing.
Her point is this.
Oh, you're
I
clear
got
my
you.
point?
Her point is
He's
this
gonna
for
fix my
people that
point.
are not listening.
Hey,
She's really trying to protect our black men.
right.
We're under attack. We've been under attack for 20.
We've
been under attack for
since
life.
our birth.
We've been under attack
Right.
forever. But I think where she's coming from is she's trying to say at some point we have to start teaching them.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And what
And-
I'm saying is shut the fuck up about all this other shit and all these
Right.
fucking memes we're putting out there. And, because you don't do this, you do that. The fact of the matter is, one,
Right.
what are you doing to make a difference? If you're out here fussing and all this shit, and you're on this you're out here on social media, all this shit,
Destroy
talking this
social
shit.
media then.
It's not even about that
You have
because
to.
we use it. It can be a beast or it can be a
You have
blessing.
to.
What I'm saying is this: I am tired of people talking about this little thing when that's not even the importance of it. The importance is, okay, a man is dead, now 2 men are dead, while y'all
Yeah.
fussing about who the fuck forgave something.
Right.
I don't have to
Right.
forgive.
But that goes back to
But
the
now
Nipsey
I can
case
use
too.
my platform
Man.
and give people what now?
That's just
Come
like
on
the
now.
Nipsey case.
Rest in peace, Nips.
Yeah.
And you don't hear shit about air holder, the supposed shooter. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally, it has to be, if I've watched it, it's well over 20 cameras.
In that he has 7 cameras just on his property. Shout out to the marathon because I finally got my stuff in the mail. It took
look
6
here.
months, but I finally got my stuff. I appreciate y'all. But on top of that, no, I did because it's
You
crazy. I
have
literally
to.
ordered my stuff the day before he was murdered.
I understand.
But
So,
it goes back to, if you want to fix it, stop telling our kids not to snitch.
Yeah.
What happens in this house stays in this house.
Mhm.
You know, the questioning of our children. It's things like, just sometimes life throws you a curveball and maybe you're not ready for it and you swing and miss. You gotta remember, you gotta throw that ball to me 2 more times.
Right.
It's
At
a high
least.
chance
I'm going to hit one of them.
I'm gonna rock it. Right?
Right.
We use a baseball logic. But we use a life logic, and life is about chess, not checkers.
Come on now.
Every move in life is calculated, but your ending is already determined. But it's up to you to figure out how you gotta get there. That's why we don't. Our culture. I'm not talking about our culture. Doesn't like the process
No.
because it's always like, man, I want to be a millionaire. I want to do this. I want to do that. I mean, a lot of these millionaires. Look at Jay-Z. He just became a billionaire. He 40-something years old.
I just think we're too easily distracted, and I think
But that's why I said if you kill social media, the black culture uses social media than
even
anybody.
before social media, though, we've been distracted.
I feel like social
I-
media
I
before
think
was
before-
better than it is now.
I believe the greater issue is that we don't unify. We are not properly
So,
unified.
but how do we go about doing that? What what do we do?
By doing what these
what
three
we're doing
individuals
right
are doing right now. Building, connecting, and getting out the information.
If I see you doing something, I don't give a shit about your views. I don't give a shit who's watching. I just see you doing something good. I'm gonna attach myself. That's the type of individual I am.
Attach
Anything
yourself
that I
and
see
support it.
that's a positive, I see that. I'm on it. Tori would tell you that. My entire team would tell you that. I'm one of those dudes like, hey, let's jump on this. And they'll be like, why? Hey, jump on it. Share it, like it, whatever.
Right,
do it.
right.
Because there's something about this situation. If we attach ourselves now, you'll see it later. You might not always see the other individual's dream. That's not your job. You're there to help their process. We can use my life, what's going on with my life now. It's just a process. I'm no longer upset about all the shit that's going on. It's almost about, you know what? I appreciate it. Because whatever the hell is coming after this, you're going to be more pissed off than you are now.
What?
Right.
Be mad, vex.
I'm
So
good.
it then, as a black person, what do you do? There's a couple things. One thing, we can do a better job at supporting one another.
Absolutely.
So my thing is, if I see somebody on my page, they promoting something, I'm going to share it.
Be careful with that, though.
Well, I'll make sure it's positive.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to share. Hey,
because
look.
I'm going to tell you, even positive posts are slugs at other people. You have to be mindful.
Oh, come on now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have
I'm
to be
always
mindful.
mindful. I'm going to read.
I don't like sharing certain things.
No, I'm saying, with, like, say, for example, E.LeeseMain promoting her episode that I'm not even on.
I'm a rock with it. She
I'm
knows
gonna share
that.
it.
I'm
You
a
see,
rock it.
That's what I mean.
If
Things
I
of
catch
that
it, I'm a
nature.
rock it.
Things of that nature. So, Black America is the 10th wealthiest country in the world. Black
built
America,
this.
which we are 15%, the 10th wealthiest country in the world. We spend $1.5 trillion a year. In 10 years, it's expected to go up to 2.7. So just think about
shit
if
we don't
spent-
own.
Just imagine if we spent half of that with people who look like us. Come
Instead of
on,
looking
man.
for
Well, stop going to the business owner asking for a discount. Don't come to me.
I don't.
Don't come to Ames Parker talking about, man, I'm your fam. Look out. No.
What I-
our
what-
price
what I
is our
told you.
price. What did you say?
Hold
to
on,
me?
wait, hold on, because
Man, you ain't getting no discount.
E.Lee's-
over here at Ames
Yeah.
Parker.
What-
You
what-
forget
You come
it.
here
we
early,
had
it's
this
okay.
exact conversation
Yeah.
last week.
And I told somebody the same thing.
She
I
was
said,
like-
whatever you have, I want to support. Well, I sent it to you. No, you better invoice me. What the invoice? Send me that bill. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not
No.
tripping.
And I told her
What
the
I
same
just
I'm
asked
paying
her
full
for the show, I
price.
said, hey, I want that hoodie though.
Yeah, I said I'm paying
Like,
full
what
price.
is
What you
it?
talking
She's
about?
like,
and I
$34.
said the
I
same
don't
thing.
give
I
a
was
shit. I
like,
want the hoodie.
I don't want no plug. Nah, what's your price? I'm going to pay what your price
Price
is.
is
Right,
your
it's
price.
$500. I'm
You
just
don't like it?
Pause.
What?
Pause.
Wow,
But no,
what?
I think we discussed quite a bit of things on the show today.
Yeah, man.
Y'all took over. I'll
That's
allow
what
it
you're
though,
supposed to
because I'll
do.
have y'all back to the focus. But
Shall we proceed?
yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. But I think, like you said, we
My
need
shall we
to
proceed was totally different.
totally different. I think, like you
I do
said,
this
we have
every
to support
Thursday.
each other. We need to use our platform for the benefit of
love,
good.
man.
Absolutely. No matter what it is, be positive with it. Bring people up. And also stop bashing each other completely. We have to,
I'm not for it.
and also think about the frame of reference of where people are coming from. You know, my reference is not the same. Like I was telling somebody, reparations ain't coming to Earlene because my people ain't from here, so I ain't getting reparations.
Nobody's from America.
I'm just saying that. What I'm saying,
on,
though,
man.
no, what I'm saying though is like my people come from the Caribbean up this way. Like I
I'm
wasn't
just
dropped
saying.
off.
Kaja,
I'm just saying
behave.
though it wasn't. It's a different perspective for me. Like my family's viewpoint of race and all that's different. So
Right.
what Black Americans feel is a different feeling for me. You know what I mean?
don't feel
So
what Black Americans feel.
you gonna just stop
This
with
is
the
not my
side.
country.
You gonna just stop with it?
At all.
Stop.
It's
But
not
what?
my
But you
country.
know what I'm
You
trying to
just
say.
read the post, bro.
But what I'm saying is people
It's
love
not
to
my-
try to make us all lump into the same thing, and we're
Nope.
not all in the same
Absolutely not.
mindset and how we
Nah.
handle things. So we have to use a platform for good, protect each other no matter what. Stop using the word aggressive or all
Hey,
of these
man.
things, and take
I'm-
away the word submit and make it be what'd you say?
What?
For instead of submit, we're gonna be
Compromise.
compromise.
Was it
And but we,
compromise?
no
Nah, I
matter,
ain't
at the
say
end
that.
of the
You ain't
day, though,
compromising?
yes, you
I said
did.
instead of I didn't.
You
say
said
anything.
compromise.
The audience
said
said
compromise.
assertive for the record.
You said compromise.
I didn't.
You said
No,
compromise.
No, that was with aggressive. They changed it to assertive.
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't think we had one for submit. But
I said sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Yes, that's what I said. And I
that
quote.
is.
I said sacrifice. I haven't been
I'll go back and
misquoted
listen.
quite
I'll
a
go back and
while.
listen. So let's round this up.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
finish this
Let's
up.
do. Shall we proceed?
Shall I proceed?
I
to
will
hit
yes,
the-
indeed.
I will never have drinks with y'all ever again. But I want to say thank you for coming out and talking about it. And we did talk about a lot of different things. I think we hit a little bit of what we want to talk about.
I'm gonna tell you.
No,
this, you
I
gotta
think
get
we
to
I
it,
think we
though.
actually hit it
I think we hit a lot of
because you
different
saw it
things.
through raw emotion
You know what?
and
You should
logic.
come Thursday. We should
Raw
get into
emotion
it.
and
My
logic.
shit is raw and authentic. Let's get into it.
Why
I don't
you-
feel
why-
like we got into it where you wanted to take it.
We didn't because y'all kept getting distracted.
Then let's come to Vivid
I'll
Vybe
come
and let's do
Thursday.
it.
I'll come Thursday.
Let's do it.
I'll come.
Ooh.
What time? 8 o'clock,
8
right?
o'clock.
I'll come Thursday.
Challenge.
It's not a challenge. It's the fact I know where she's going, and
Yeah, continue
Vivid
the
Vybe is where you
conversation.
gonna do it at.
Hey,
It's authentic as fuck.
get that in.
And black
You
men
don't let
need
me.
it.
You don't let me round this out so I
Do
can
it.
let y'all.
Oh.
Y'all can talk about
Oh,
y'all
I just-
stuff. Thank you.
Go ahead. You can cut me out. You put my mic.
Drop the mic.
Before we go, I want you to tell people where they can find you, what you have going on. Exactly. So pick that shit back
I gotta
up.
pick the mic back
Yeah.
up.
Tell them about your podcast, your brand,
You can
what you're
find
doing.
Your boy Del P at Vivid Vybe. That's Facebook and Instagram. You can find me also at Ames Parker, and you can find Toy Ames at Ames Parker Brand Management. You can go check out the Mink Lash gang. Like, we connected over here. Like, we doing things.
Wait, pause. You said Meek Lash?
Yeah,
like
my-
eyelashes?
My business partner has a Mink
Okay,
Lash gang coming. Why
okay,
would not promote
okay.
that? I would have worn a shirt, but you know, Shopper
Well,
used to see be on that grown and sexy. I threw a little button up on.
just
I
saying.
wasn't sure.
Well, I
It's
just
so
wanted
funny.
to confirm.
Most
Supposed to be
other
asking me
shit.
like, how should I dress? I'm like, just
Yeah.
what you want.
Put a
I just
button
wanted
up
to
on.
confirm what it was.
What
Sound
about
like
it came-
Meek Lash.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, God,
Meek
I was
Lash.
about to say,
So what's
Look, she
upcoming
blinking
here?
like that. Me.
So you're on a tour right now.
yeah.
So let's talk about your tour. You're on a podcast tour.
I'm on a podcast too. I'd rather drop it.
Oh, you
We
don't
drop
wanna
it on
You don't,
now.
you don't
yeah,
want to drop it here
yeah.
because
You'll see me where you pop me up at.
you see
I
how you
won't
do
promote
it.
it.
You don't want to promote it.
Nah, cause my manager gonna kick my ass. So
Oh, okay. We don't want you to get hurt.
we ain't talk about it.
Oh.
I just did it today and it was like, this is the tour. It's gonna start today. So.
Oh.
But we
Rebel.
doing this thing all October, and then
Rebel.
Vivid Vybe is
Rebel.
where it's at. Like, come to Vivid Vybe. It's the most authentic podcast in Houston, Texas. We do not hold back, and we have a live audience, so you're more than welcome to sit down, voice your
Thursdays at
opinion.
8 o'clock, 8
Thursdays
p.m.
at 8
Central
o'clock.
Standard Time. Yes.
Let's
And your
go.
Facebook page is the same, Vivid Vibes. So,
Absolutely,
So,
I appreciate that.
Mr. Randolph.
Hey, man. So last time I was here, I spoke about creating a man space.
Yes, you did.
And that man space is coming early 2020
Mm-hmm.
through a couple different avenues. It's going to be called Therapy and Cigars, which will be with live podcasts, bi-weekly, monthly men's group, and this will all be for free
I want it.
for men. That's one.
Oh, I can't come.
You
I'm just trying to see.
No.
I'm just
You
trying.
can come
So
listen.
the podcast. So wait.
I want
I didn't-
in.
I didn't know-
We need to talk.
I didn't know
Hey,
you was
man.
on the
Talk.
business. I
We
didn't
about
know
to
you trying
connect.
to tell me what I can.
So
You fine.
the live podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We go work some stuff out because I like this whole setup. So the live podcast will actually be a personal space for men,
Okay, I like that.
but it won't be limited to men.
Right. But y'all need your space though. You need your
Correct.
space.
So then the bi-weekly
Mm-hmm.
or monthly meeting will be men only.
Okay.
I'm working on it with my partner. We probably go do it at a barbershop, which is
Oh,
gonna
no.
be super dope.
LeBron already did it.
But it's not. No, that's not. That won't be recorded. The podcast will be recorded.
But your talks will be
The-
intimate, no recording, just
Correct.
safe space.
So you want
Safe
that's going to be
space.
the safe space.
Let her-
Safe
right,
space.
right,
Let her
right,
close
right.
her shit. my
Y'all
bad.
just y'all
So,
are- y'all
and
are
I-
so
and I got-
take over it.
And I got one other thing. So I did talk about the book.
Yes, you did last
I'm
time you were here.
I'm 78% done,
Awesome.
Congrats, man. Keep pushing.
and I've officially got the copyrights for the.
Congrats.
So I said I was going to tell y'all the name of the book at the end.
Yes. I'm ready.
Hey, I hope my pop's watching.
Okay.
So the name of this particular book
Mm-hmm.
is "I Am Not My Father's Mistake." Fax me that.
That shirt will be presented Thursday. He ain't copyrighted.
Oh my
I designed
God.
T-shirts. I'm gonna wear that shit Thursday. Watch.
Oh wow.
I'm not my father's mistake.
Hey,
Wow.
it's
We
copywritten.
gotta put it
So
in
if you wear it, bullshit.
You gonna pay me? You gonna
You
pay
think
me to
I'ma-
wear it?
You think I'm gonna fund you some information and I ain't take my own
You're gonna
advice?
pay me to wear it.
Shit.
Watch.
Man, hey, where I'm from, grits is groceries.
Whatever. You gonna pay me to wear it though? Watch. I'm gonna present it, and you gonna pay me to wear it. Shall we proceed?
Listen.
Shall I proceed?
Yes,
This is season 2 opener, episode 14.
They better
Let
match
go.
our energy.
Surviving as a black man, as a
And
black
we still
person,
here.
surviving this podcast with these 2 amazing young men that are sitting next to me. I want to say thank you,
Thank
Del,
you,
for
man.
coming.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you,
Appreciate
Marlon,
it.
for
You too.
You're
coming.
still amazingly beautiful.
Thank you. I'm all sweaty and hot.
Oh
You wanna
my
fan
God.
yourself? Oh, she trying to
I'm hot.
fan herself.
I'm
I give you a
Okay.
compliment. You want me to
Do you
close
see
out the show?
sweat? Do you see
Like, go on, hit that
Oh, my
water,
goodness.
cuz.
Anyway, so please share this post. Follow me. Follow the Vivid Vybe on
Absolutely,
all platforms.
man. This game.
Follow the show on Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube.
I'm sharing this all week.
IG. Anything you want to ask, put in the comments. We're gonna keep on going with it and going with it and going with it. We'll do this again, bigger and better. I'm planning a form in 2020 for men.
Ooh.
All men form, all female form in 2020.
What?
I'm
That's
with
in the
you.
works right now for
I'm
that.
with you. Let's talk.
And I want to keep the conversation going. Use the platform
Yeah,
for
let's
good.
find some sponsors.
Make
This is
sure.
going to be continued, by the way, Thursday.
I'll be on Vivid
And it
Vybe
will-
on Thursday, 8
She's
o'clock.
coming to Vivid Vybe Thursday,
Hey,
and we're
I
going to
might-
continue.
I've been trying to
might
get
be at
there.
Vivid Vybe on
I've been trying to
Thursday.
get there for the
Even
longest.
if you
and
don't, shall we proceed?
He
Is the
invited
reason
me and
why
never
the conversation
responded.
has happened Thursday.
So make sure you follow Marlon and his upcoming book. I think it's going to be amazing. You'll be back to
which
talk
I'm
about
supporting.
Man.
it. And also what's coming in 2020, the
I
Safe
got you, bro.
Men Space. I'm loving it.
Deep
We got
in
the
rap.
Same thing coming.
Full support.
in rap.
So
Man Cave is coming. We got it.
thank you for viewing. Please share this post. Share this stream.
I'm telling you.
I'll be back next week to discuss health and wellness with Shanice Caldwell. And she's going to talk about surviving her life and reclaiming her life and her health. So
God bless her. I
everyone,
won't get to meet
season
you.
2 is underway, full effect. I love you. Please comment. Thank you for viewing, and we'll see you next week.
Shall we proceed?
Bye.
Yes,
Fax me that.
indeed.
Y'all are a trip.